Hello! So, today I am going to be doing a how I draw faces tutorial. As disclaimer, this is how I draw faces. This is not the correct way to draw faces. It's not how you should draw them. I'm just going to give you some tips and advice on overall proportions, because to be honest, most tutorials I get stuck on the parts with drawing a circle. So that's not exactly how we're starting today. Draw a circle, not. I'm just gonna zoom in, teaching you how to draw a male and a female face. Just so you know, this is not how you have to draw male and female faces. This is just emphasising the masculine and feminine features. First, I am going to draw just the average male and female face. I'm just going to use some of these very basic mechanical ones. Sketchy mechanical pencils, they call them. They're actually pretty good, and the rubber actually works on the end of it, so that's a bonus. I'm going to split my page in two. Don't be worried if you can't do this. I'm not very good at drawing a completely straight line, so that helps you just do short marks in the direction you want. Or sometimes just go really quickly and then do short marks and then slowly define the ones that you like. Now that is a huge tip on drawing basically anything. Focus on the shapes, not necessarily the lines that you're making. First of all, female face on the left, male face on the right. And as I said at the very start of the video, it's masculine and feminine, not necessarily male and female. So if your male or female don't look like the one that I'm drawing, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to draw it the way I'm drawing it. Now, if you can't draw relatively good overall like I can, because I've drawn so many heads now, then this is for you. Rub out these lines. I don't usually go with that as the end result anyways. And this is what I always used to start with. Now. And no, you're not starting with a perfect circle. I actually want it to be more ovalish, is how you want it. So just draw a circle-ish shape, like that. Done. It's more outwards at the sides, it's not a perfect circle. Now, I'm going to add some add-ons. Just first of all, draw two lines like this. They're about, if you counted it in fractions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 2/6 of it are going to be the side parts. Now, add this in and make it go out to the outside like a little oval on the side. Like that. Now join the lines up, and halfway through these weird oval shapes on the side, draw in, well basically on the sides of this first ovalish circle that you drew, draw in two lines. Now just try your best to draw an ovalish shape. It's not the final line, so as I said, focus on the shapes you're making. Try and draw a line down the middle, doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. If you really can't draw it, go and grab out your ruler, throw it out the window and use that. I'm going to try and do a relatively halfway line. most of the time the circle that I draw at the beginning is actually smaller than you think. So you can't go on that being the middle line all the time because it's usually not. Yeah, so let's just say that is where the middle line is. I know from experience that then if you actually try and draw a perfect circle, now go on and get out your compasses. I'm not expecting you to draw a perfect circle straight away, so don't you go moaning at me in the comments. Now, just try and do something like that. Because if you really don't want to go by fractions, so 3/4 line is the bottom of the nose, then drawing a perfect circle will help you with that. I know, strange, right? Very strange. Now, if you roughly find the 3/4 line, that is where the top of the arch of the eyebrow will be going. Now, you see the edge of this weird oval thing? There is the end of the eyes. The eyes are actually quite a bit shorter than I ever thought they were. I am now divided into sections, and I'm sure you've heard this bit of advice before, but these bit between the eyes is around about roughly an eye itself. Divide into sections. Done. So this could be split into thirds. Now, depending on how thick the jawline is, it could be there, it could be there, it could be there. I don't know. But I'm drawing a female face, so as I said, this is just the average. I'm going to draw the chin slightly higher up than the male face, and the nose too, which is strange, and the jaw slightly smaller. I have noticed that the top of the ear goes to about the top of the eye. So roughly here, and down to the bottom of the nose is what you always get told. So this, 4. There we go. Now the average eye size, well, I think it might be the average, it's the size of my nose size anyways, is to here. Well, that's what I'm guessing anyways. I'm actually kind of drawing my characters here. Naomi Norm and Norman Norm. Strange, right? Now, the eyebrows go a little bit further out than the eyes do. Now, the female eyebrows are supposed to be slightly rounder than the male. But I'm not going by all that knowledge. Now, I'm going to draw... It turns out the bridge of the nose is actually a lot more thinner in than you think. It's just the nostrils can be much more expanded. So they can even go right out to here, is about the largest nostril. Now, if you struggle with drawing noses, my bit of advice, draw a circle and draw a diamond. Then just add on the nostril bits to it, which can be simplified as circles. And there you go, that's your nose. And you can just draw this sort of like a triangle with two square, slightly smaller bits on the side. And this...
My name's Katie and I can draw.
Yeah.
If you think so too, then subscribe for more.
Split that into 3 sections and add in the hairline. I'm drawing this slightly higher up than it really is. because it makes it much easier. Here you go. This is not a neck drawing tutorial. Apparently, the female necks look shorter than the males, and they're also a little bit more thinner and curved instead of two straight lines. It's like this. Make the jaw. Now you can change the jaw however you like. And yes, I know I'm rubbing it all out. This is why I said don't try and draw a perfect circle every time. Because you're going to rub it out in the end, so there's not really much point. Now, I haven't even gotten to the mouth yet. So, about halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin, there's the mouth. I've realised it's slightly higher up than halfway. Only slightly. And then the bottom lip, there are many different sizes and shapes of the bottom lip. As I said, I'm going for the average. Now the corner of the mouth is going up to the centre of the pupil. And you're going for asymmetry here though, so no perfect lines. One of the reasons why I usually use a harder pencil than a H&B like this is because that way is when I push hard it's going to still erase completely. So I'm just going to leave in the absolute must lines. Now the top lip is usually relatively smaller than the bottom. I don't always draw in the lips, you don't have to, it's not like you have to. And most of the time I don't draw the lips close together either, because not many people keep them close together, they're usually in some kind of expression. Now these usually turn back over. There's not really supposed to be as much detail to the nose in the female face. And one thing I forgot, there are these sort of side bits that come out, which is why by drawing the bridge of the nose in too much, you're actually making the drawing look much less realistic. So if you can imagine, these bits are here. So there's usually some definition of that down here, but not on the centre. Never on the centre. Then I've realised the cheekbones actually end on the mouth, but the highest point of them are around the nose area. So getting those cheekbones, if whoever you're drawing has them, I'm going to define some of these areas that might need to be shaded. I know, this drawing slowly coming out of the ugly stage, but at the moment it still looks ugly. Now the corner of the eye is actually about a fifth of the whole eye. It's a lot larger than you think. If you're doing more of a cartoony style, you don't need to define it as much. I'm going to give her some short but going up eyelashes. As did you know, the male face actually has longer eyelashes apparently. It's always the other way around in cartoons. The eyelashes overlap the top of the eye a bit more. And that part of the eyelid. Now draw a circle, but sort of give it flat ends, so it is more of an oval. Now, depending on the expression, you can put it where you like. Depending on how the light source is, you can make the pupils really large or really tiny. I also like to fade out into the rest of the eye. in the whole picture. I think that nose is a little low down. So mind that. Everyone draws them differently. I'm just going to add some more adjustments.
Think about your design. Done.
I'm making her a little older. But age is one of those questions you've got to ask your character. Also personality.
Add in the personality.
She
Done.
looks a bit strict right now, but I really want to draw a playful character. Give her a bit of a smile. Also grimace as well. A little bit of a Cupid's bow, but not so much. Looks like the rider's eyes a bit. A little bit shaded under there. And soon I'm going to start adding in the basic shadows. Actually, I've already started in that. I think that's a little too defined. And also how much the nostrils show could change as well. Not my best, to be honest. Make those cheekbones a little smaller. Give her a little bit of a pointy chin. As I said, this is the point where you need to ask yourself questions. Stop, think, and look at their personality. Remember, if you don't like the ears, just hide them in the hair. I never used to draw ears, but it can really define the character. I don't know whether you will understand that. Now, this is not a hair tutorial, so I'm going to skip this as well.
Tweak the details. Done.
Our process, I think, it's time to add some shading. I'm going to do quite a basic shading this time. I'm not really in the mood to do any drastic shading. Well, I rarely ever do anyways. So, I'm just going to add in a few shadows in sort of normal place. this as my hair in the way. Yeah.
Shade it all in. Done. And that is how you draw it. Not.
Forget what I said about these being good rubbers. Absolutely terrible. Oh, guess I'll just use some old kneaded eraser. Here we go. If you're feeling your own face, don't just look at your face, feel it. Feel in those gaps, like your shadow beneath the mouth. There's just so much. Using that Byeee, it's not really working for anything. I think Byee's good for basicness, but now it's a 6B. Oh, so dark. I have no idea when the 2B and 4B went, but this is perfect for those really, really, really dark shadows. That and just satisfying this. There we go. Let that shadow go down there. I believe I did it with this. It's also probably got some frizziness to it. I think that's sort of coming to life now. There's some darker shadows on her face as well. Make it really pop out. They'll blend in those shadows, which actually usually makes them darker, as I said. Also, not many highlights are pure white. So I'm going to smudge them out, so most of the highlighted places are going to be dark. I can always erase them later anyways. shading step back. Do her skin sort of ridge colour, so not dark, not lighty, because I'm trying to do the mixed representation, and it doesn't look anything like my cat's Naomi anymore. She's sort of supposed to be the norm of what people on this island in my comic look like, so it's not really the norm of the entire world put together. Why invest in amazing cameras when I've got 0 subscribers so far? But it's not all about subscribers. Go check out that description of my channel page, as I am here because I think I've got a relatively good chance of actually being able to teach you something. Help you from that huge struggle in the beginning of realising that you actually want to learn how to draw well. But you just can't at the moment.
Decide on the light source. Done.
This is how far you can get. And guess how long exactly I've been drawing?
Well, actually my whole life.
But I've only really started taking it seriously, as in saying, right, art is my passion, for about 1.5 years. No, I've been drawing it every day almost every day for about 4 years now. 3 or 4. That is how much work you need to put in to improve. Who knows, some of you might just be talented as Picasso straight away. But when there's talent, there's also a lot of room to improve. I'm going to take my B pencil and use that to draw the flyaway hairs. Just the extra thin ones, since you can't really get that thin with 6B. This is actually probably one of my favourite parts. Sometimes go a little over the top. The curlier the hair, the more frizz it's going to have. Tiny little freckles almost like. Almost like little fuzzy bits going down their cheeks. I have that. I don't really have freckles. There's little fuzzy bits and pores right there. It's almost like you can have a few spots or two, since she looks either like an older teen or a young adult, since that's the age range that I like drawing. I like drawing teens the most, but I sometimes draw sort of young adults. So let's zoom out. And there we go. It actually looks better off camera, but the hair does look a lot darker on camera. We'll try and get it that dark now. So expectations will be exceeded. Now, I'm using a B pencil, and this is by this Simply Sketching place. I got it from an art kit that I got for Christmas. As this year, last year, that's all I wanted for Christmas presents. And my precious presents for polychromos I got this year as well. Now I'm just going to draw the details in this, because there's already a sense of detail. I want to actually draw details. I'll zoom it in so you can see in the hair over here. I think this is close to done though. I think this is close to done. It's shadows with so this nice. Put it over. I did some more shadows over here. Is that done? It looks so close. There's still too much white over here. Now? Oh, it's over here. Oh, I feel like it was better before. Well, has that improved it? We zoom in so you can see. I'm not quite sure about that. Seems to be here, that's way too dark. Zoom it out a little more. Perfect. And I think that's going to be my thumbnail picture.
Hey! What are you still here for though? Well, don't you click off this video now, because there is still something you've been waiting for. This is why you should still be here. This is what we're going to do next. Let's get to it. Now, before we begin, and yes, I know I said to get to it now. Before we begin, I'm going to have a run through so you know what you do same and what you do differently. So, it's the worst day of the week. Monday. And here we are. In my best clothes because I had to change out my school uniform. And now we're not even thinking about that girl face. I don't think there's anything we need to change about that. So now this blank space here has to go. And have returned the male face. As of course you can't see what's right beside me, I have done a few little sketches. Now this is going to be my base, and this is going to be my details. What do you think? I did that one at school and that one I've just done, and I was just animating the intro. So that's quite new. Now, okay, I think I want the pose to be like this. The face is going to be slightly bigger. So the run through. The face is going to be slightly bigger, just slightly, as males are usually taller, you find most of the time. Right. I'll make him closer to the over here though. Now, let me just do a bad oval. just going to add in the hairline over there. That's actually quite a good hairline, I think.
So let's say the light's sort of here. It's not hitting them as directly as it is with her, but the main light would be somewhere around here. So light is going there. And the bottom eyelid's quite round though. I don't know why I want to do that. I think it makes it have more character there. It doesn't look all blank. Yeah, no bigger than the females though, so let's rub out some of that. Rubbing means you're trying. Now, these eyes. Indent underneath there, and then it goes down to that chin muscle. I'm going to rub that out. It's just a merchant. Keep it in your head. If not, you could just resume the video. It'd be much easier. But I'm embarrassing myself with my awkwardness. Like this video if you can relate, and subscribe. This drawing looks like, obviously with lots of signatures all over it, as I am not letting anyone steal my drawings. There's a lot more short-haired boys nowadays. I think longer hair's fun to do. In the mix. This is sort of medium. Now that neck needs some fixing up. And then I'm going to start on the proper shading. Thought that this wasn't proper already. Okay, wonder how long I've been doing this so far. I'm guessing about 30 minutes. I'll put up on the screen now what I actually spent on this. Bet it's either much more or actually quite a bit less. Now this neck goes on forever, it feels like. I feel like when people are drawing males, they're like, why so much neck? Why so many muscles? And they're drawing females, they're just like, why so many curves? go through those eyebrows again. Get them to look very unrealistic. Oh, I did that the wrong way. Get rid of all that. Almost look like a couple now. I think this face looks too perfect. Research. Maybe make that hair a little darker. Zoom out that piece now. And I think that is pretty much it. Oh, actually, no. Now this is what you call an artist. Always needs to go back and check it. Maybe that's just my perfectionism. I have no idea. Well, I guess that's all for now. See you in my next video. Bye-bye. And I hope this tutorial taught you something at least. Now you can re-watch this again or go on to my next playlist. Okay, watch out for the next video. Bye-bye. Now, then you're going to be tweaking the details, which includes adding in the facial structure if you want to do that, so defining cheekbones. Then you're going to be adding in the eyes, deciding on the jawline. Then you're also going to be deciding where the hairline goes, how long the neck and how thick it will be, and deciding overall how masculine or feminine it's going to be. Now let's move the camera again. Now we've got that done. You're going to be adding in the personality. This can be from deciding the masculine and feminine aspects, deciding on age, height, how people think of them, backstory, country, origins, that can be where they're from, and all sorts of other things. You can also think about what their hobbies are. What kind of friend group would they have? Oh, it goes on forever. You don't always need to do this, but it's also good in this personality stage to make an expression or an emotion that they have at that specific time. Now, you've done that, it's time to think about your design. So that means just look. Do you think that the details go with the personality? Do you think it all matches? Do you think the shading is right? Well, we're not getting onto that yet, but just think about it. Not just the personality, but also the character. Tweak those details. Like, if only I had noticed that on the female face, I've now noticed now, the eyes are way too high up, which completely changes the way you look at the whole design. Now you've done that, it's time to decide on a light source. Deciding on a light source is especially important, as you can just stop here, not add any shading and just leave it how you like it. But deciding on the light source can be especially important with realistic work, and that is the kind of work that I like to do. Sort of realistic, semi-realistic, that kind of stuff. So I usually do the same sort of light source, but it's something that I do need to work on. Once you've done that, it's time to shade it all in. That means going crazy, once again doing a double check on the details, adding in the pores, freckles, all the shading, deciding on the light source, and you can basically tweak it all. Everything in there can always tweak. It is completed. That's it. Well, I wish I could say more, but we're not talking about colouring right now. So unless you want me to do another video on colour theory, there's nothing else we really need to cover. So squiggly line. More of a squiggly line. Wait for it. Even more of a squiggly line. G. G again. U. E. S. S. Guess. That's. All for now. Guess that's all for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever you are. Now, smiley face. And we're done here. Bye-bye.